Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for House of the Dragon Season 2. This is Episode 2. We've got a full lineup panel tonight for you guys. So I'm going to introduce a few of the people that are here, let them give their brief thoughts on this insane episode. Again, this is spoiler filled. So if you've not seen the episode, go and check out the episode, pause this, come back to it. We're going to go and dissect everything. So first on deck, I have Bizzy Ron. What's up, Bizzy?
Hello. What's up, man? I mean, I'm really excited to talk about this episode. I mentioned this before, but the complications of being on one side, now we're getting other reasons to go on another side, an opposing side. I'm still Team Black, but I'm really excited to hear what everyone else has to say.
Of course you are. Next on deck, we got King 7. What's up, dude?
I'm Team Black for Kristen Cole alone. I hate that dude. Garbage, basura, absolute.
Wow.
God,
I love that word.
Basura.
I hate.
Basura.
I hate. Yeah, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? It was a good episode, but I really, really hate Kristen Cole. Ever since he got a crumb of Targaryen coochie in that first season, he's been out of pocket ever since. But you know what? It is.
That's wild.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, happy to be here. It was a good episode. I love House of the Dragon. I hate Kristen Cole.
Mike better have that flag.
Was I supposed to say anything else? I don't.
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. Cool. I was like, man, did I forget?
Next on deck, we have Ronin and Chain. What's up, Ronin?
Hey man, how's everybody doing? Listen, say what you will, Kristen Cole or Christopher Columbus, whatever his name is, he's got the moves like Jagger. I mean, he go from one house to one house, and like, kudos, man. It's fucked up, but like, hey, here's what it is. I lasted a minute without swearing. So
Look at you.
But yes, episode 2 goes in a more personal way with individual characters, and I didn't think you would follow up the ending of the first episode, and I'm very intrigued to when we start talking about Allison in particular.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point of contention. Because next on deck, we have a returning guest, Vanessa. What's up?
Hey.
Hi, I'm back because I'm obsessed with everything Game of Thrones. I love House of the Dragon. I've been Team Targaryen.
Hell yeah.
Born, fresh 18, But anyway, I'm just kidding. No, I'm excited. I love the Targaryens. I love the season already. I can't wait to talk about this episode. As a mother, I have a lot to say.
Oh, snap. I ain't even think about that. Oh, we going
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was mad half this episode. Anyway, last but not least, Jedi Mike 7.
There it is.
Hey.
Raffle knife goes slice.
You already know what business we standing on. Is there a House Green diss track featuring Kendrick Lamar?
Where did sunglasses go from?
I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk.
All right. All right. I do want to say how funny it was. Sam was so amped up about this episode, he had to mute himself for a majority of it because of the fact that he was so worked up. And I don't think I've seen him that worked up in a while. And I just thought that was really entertaining.
Yeah.
His favorite character is Allison Hightower, and I'm very intrigued.
Oh my god!
I got another name for her.
But
anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, my point of contention started with honestly how the last episode ended. Like, what Allison's daughter had to go through and what she had to do. It broke me on a lot of different levels because it's the unthinkable. Like, it's one thing if somebody taking, a life. It's another thing you're picking and choosing, and for a mother to have to do that was unthinkable. And so she instinctively went to her mother's location, and the whole entire episode for me was her dragging every child that she has through the mid, just because it just irritated me. And yeah, I hate Kristen Cole too. He's on my list. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, but the episode to me was really good from a foundational standpoint. There's a lot of different growth that's happening. But specifically, I think even like the king, like I think in this episode, I kind of was like, man, there's a lot of layers to how this could have went up, but we're gonna go and kind of unpack a lot of it. But I guess starting off from the beginning of the episode, like how it opened in, the king enraged, everybody's just kind of figuring out what's going on, and then Rhaenyra getting understanding, like, yo, what in the world happened? She's asking her counsel. Her counsel's basically saying, I don't know what you can say to fix this. It's done. And they're kind of looking at her sideways, like, did you do this? And it was just, she looked to the side of her husband and he kind of giving this like,
she knew.
And I was like, she's like, what is going on? So as far as how the episode opened for you guys, what was your thoughts on how it opened? Coming off of how, I mean, one, like, how are you dealing with how the last episode ended, transitioning to the beginning of this episode?
You want to go?
I'll go. Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't cover the first episode. But
what's up, Mama? What do you think?
the first episode, at the end of the first episode, I don't really know I don't have the words to describe that, and I'm a writer, so I'm just gonna skip past that. And the opening of that second episode was literally what I expected, and it's how it should have been. I was hoping they wouldn't skip past it. But to see everyone like I don't like Aegon, I don't like the king, but seeing him act appropriately, like everything he did this episode was obviously stupid, but I'm not gonna blame him.
Right.
Yeah. Like murder. Yeah. Like it was whew. Anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone's reaction besides the hand, even though I was like, damn. Everyone hit. It was devastating because that's a line you don't cross. And I love the way that they kind of spanned it, like him hacking away at the castle. Like everything was just well done. And even Allison's emotions, like Rhaenyra's reactions, everything was perfectly done. I don't think I have a single complaint about the way that episode opened up.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I definitely I definitely agree. I do like the way they portrayed that grief. I mean, we saw Rhaenyra's grief in the first episode, and so we're seeing the other side's grief in this episode and seeing him absolutely devastated from the loss of the kid. And then they hit us again by at the funeral showing the kid with his head sewn back on and all that. And so like it was one of those I really do like the way they showed it. And I definitely agree, as much as I dislike Aegon, I actually felt for him this episode because that was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Like, hate him or love him, I think everybody has like, this was a kid. Right. And he did not deserve that. And Aegon might be an absolute bastard of a person, but no one deserves to go through that. And so, I do like the way that they portrayed it. And I think his reactions were right on the nose, especially with someone that's going through those early stages of grief. I think they portrayed it very well.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would say, just from reading the story, that knowing what was going to happen next, I just want to kind of them to spend their time on this traumatic moment, and I want to see visually how that would be displayed, because again, you can read it, but the way the performances and how they depict what I've read do it justice, tenfold, 100-fold. And even as you what Vanessa was talking about was like, each of these characters, everything they did, whether it might be irrational, was understandable. That makes sense. And even to a point when some things would like, okay, this is very this will lead to dramatic consequences, whatever. But if I was in those shoes, what I would do? I would not know. Right? None of us would have known what we would do. We can say it, but again, we could be struck by grief, anger, guilt. And the way we do that, the stages of grief are displayed very differently amongst many of the family members in this episode. And again, to some of these people, it also give us as an audience member a reaction where it's like, you know what, even though this person's a jerk, I also want to give them a hug. And in the show, some of them are not even getting the support from their family in moments. I was like, man, you just gonna walk away? Those things where it's like, all right, I know you're a horrible person, but even then, it's like there's some things like that act I would not even want my worst enemy to go through. Right. So I think it kind of put us in the shoes of like watching just these people, even though they made bad choices, whatever, and who they are in terms of their character, but what's happened to them, obviously, we understand and we kind of grieve for them as an audience watching this. So yeah, I really think they did a good job with all the performances here and got many different emotions out of me, and I guess from all of us watching this episode.
Yeah. Bizzy or Ronin?
I like that the show. I don't know if it's talking to us or if it's just showing you what it does when family goes into business together, or when family is in charge of a lot of power, and how many factors are trying to pull at different ways, and how Otto continually says, "We set you up to be king, and now you're tearing everything we've built and whatnot." It's like, that's nice and all, but I'm now in charge. I'm the one who's choosing to do what I want to do, and I just, again, there's points where you feel bad for what someone like Allison is going through, and at points you just begging through the screen of wherever you're watching the show, just like, please say something, do something, because this kid who's maybe too young to be king is gonna blow stuff up, is gonna do something irrational, and rightfully so. Some would feel like he wants blood, let him get blood. They just kill this kid and whatnot. And I just, it's fascinating to see the dynamics. Not just even the High Towers, also what Rhaenyra's going through with Daemon, and how Daemon is very. I think he's doing his best to just be laid back. Hey, I tried to do something, it didn't work out. It was an accident. Okay, what do we do next? And it's just like, that's not how it works, fool. That's not how it works. Regardless of your intentions, like, when shit hit the fan, or whatever it is at that time period. So
yeah, I mean, but before Bizzy goes, I think just using Daemon, like he did that for himself. He did that because he was, wanted to take out on something because he doesn't know how to effectively handle his emotions. Like he goes and just does things, and so
he's compulsive, yeah.
Use that to vindicate himself. And
Yeah.
like I think one of the things that I love about this episode is that Rhaenyra and Alicent had to deal with the circumstances around them, but you see how they handle stuff very differently. I think that, with Rhaenyra kind of handling Daemon in his way, I knew why she said the things that she said in that moment, but I also know she was emotionally compromised. And I was like, if you push him away too far, you're leaving yourself vulnerable at the same as that time. But he absolutely needed that kick in the butt. But the reason why I got upset in this episode, the majority of the time, is the action. I knew what the hand does. I know what the grandfather's all about. I know him. But it's her allowing this still to go on and what it does in affecting her children. That's why I was so mad. Like when the hand was kind of like telling the king of all people, like, yeah, you need to kind of take your son and just parade his body out there. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I look weak. I'm like, no, you already look weak. Okay, cool. Well, I still don't want to do that. I'm the king. And she just allowed her dad to just do that. And it irritated me. And I think that's where you see the differences of the kingdom if this kind of progresses on. Like, and I think that's the thing I really love about this episode. I want to talk more about it, but Bizzy, I'm sorry to cut that off.
Oh no, you're good, bro. So all I was gonna say is that Daemon is just he is volatile, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
So and I think this episode really showed, although Rhaenyra needed her break in the first episode, and like I said in the first episode, she barely said anything, but her eyes spoke 1,000 words. The acting was on a whole different level. But going into this episode, I feel as though she took it way too easy on Daemon. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, This dude, like you said, he did it for selfish reasons. He even tried to say, "Oh no, she's clearly not in the right headset. Someone needs to make a move." So he thought what he did was, he thought he was doing the right thing. And even after what happened, I feel like he was still trying to justify it in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, I mean, I feel like Rhaenyra handled that like a champ. She knew if she pushed too far, he probably would have done something even crazier. But it was just really cool to see that entire sequence between them two. I mean, the dude's nuts, but I feel like this isn't even the bottom of the barrel. He's gonna end up doing something crazier as the season progresses, and he's unstable, man. I don't know what else to say.
He absolutely is a loose cannon. But I mean, again, I think my heart went out for Aegon and Helena, specifically more so
Yeah.
Helena, because
Fuck, man.
she even said, she's like, I don't want to do this, right? And they got this girl out there already anxiety ridden, because it's part of it's because her abilities, it seems like she's got going on, but she having to be out there with people, one, and then two with her slim body, like the way that she had to kind of deal with that, I think that hit me really hard. But I was gonna ask you guys. I mean, I told you guys what my frustration modes were, like the way that they kind of handle certain things. Allison allowing certain things. But do you guys have any frustrations with certain characters in this?
Oh
And
my god, yeah.
as far as episode 2,
Wait, just characters that we're frustrated by.
Like, let me talk
It's-
about Circle.
Is
That
it
my
that
boy.
is it that open?
go for it, man.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I do agree. I'm gonna backtrack first and say, like, Daemon definitely frustrated me, especially because it doesn't seem like he has any regrets for anything that he does when he pops off. He kind of reminds me of Sonny from The Godfather, how he was just a hothead and just pulled triggers when he shouldn't. And just the way that he interacted with Rhaenyra, like the way that he just treats her, the way that he acts, I was frustrated by him. Obviously, y'all know I got nothing but absolute smoke with Kristen Cole. But yeah, watching Allison just like listen to her dad the whole time, that was just nails on a chalkboard for me. Like, I hated it because I'm like, yo, that's what are you doing right now? What is wrong with you? That's your grandkid. Just sit, like, just what is happening right now that you're just like completely just letting all this slide and letting the hand, who I also hate, and I'm kind of upset that he got fired because I need him to come back to get the death that he deserves. Like, I'm like, I need you to be rehired. I don't need you dying off screen at like a Pizza Hut somewhere. Like, I need you in here. But yeah, a lot of people, like, I feel like this episode, I either felt sorry for people or I was completely annoyed with them, and it was nothing in between. You put a picture up. But yeah, I was absolutely annoyed with her, and of course how she uses Kristen Steele as her primary coping mechanism. And yeah, I'm stopped because I could go for the next 20 minutes about how much I hate Kristen Cole. Y'all,
Vanessa, did you have anything?
Frustrations with any of the characters? Not really. I feel like they're acting accordingly. I don't know. They're doing exactly what I expect them to do. And like, Sir Kristen Cole's a bitch, and that's what he's gonna do. He's been a bitch since he started banging an underage girl. I mean, I don't know. He's a bitch. Like, he's a bitch, and that's all. I don't care. That's all. But no, I don't really have anything. Like,
I'm on Vanessa's team. I agree with exactly what she said. I wasn't gonna say it because I didn't know what you were trying to keep it rated. But I also agree that Sir Kristen Cole is in fact a bitch. I stand by Vanessa on that.
I hate what he put the twins through.
yeah.
Like, the brother stuff. That was, I was just like, hey, kudos, man. You got to move like Jagger, but go to hell. Like,
Yeah,
it's oh man, that was a devastating.
Oh
that's
my
rough.
god.
What a
That was
hell of an
probably
ending.
the most emotional I've been in this show as a whole. Because I mean, I don't got a lot, but I got, brothers, of course, as corny
Yeah,
as that
same.
sounds. So being in that situation, like it was just hard enough when the first stab happened, and he was like, "Yeah, like we grew up together." And then after he had to finish the job, and then he couldn't even put out a sentence to Rhaenyra, and he just says, "I'm sorry," and then falls on his sword. Like that tore me apart. Like, and I think that was just incredibly played on both their parts. I mean, it just again, I just love Rhaenyra as a character because she had pure sympathy in her eyes. Like obviously she was like fighting for her life, but at the end of the day, she looked like she felt bad, even though like this dude was trying to kill her. And it was such a crazy moment, but probably one of my, I don't want to say favorite moments due to it sounding sick that I enjoyed it, but it was probably one of my most favorite moments in Game of Thrones as a whole.
Wow. Yeah. Nah, I think the way that happened was just rough because it played out. It was written really well in the sense of the way it was played out because one, it started with Kristen Cole, like he was kind of in the doghouse because Allison, like he basically said to Allison, like, "Look, bro, I feel guilty. I can't do this right now," and she closed the door on him, and then he started projecting, and he found the first person he could find in this humble man, and basically was like, "Yeah, your cape is dirty. Like you soiled yourself.
He was just
Hey,
eating
where
his
were you
lunch,
at?"
man.
He was like, "I was watching the King. Where were you?"
Mhm.
And then he was like, "Well, your brother is some trash. What do I know? You set this up." And I was like, he gaslighted him to the point, and I was so upset with the brother because I was like, you don't got to take that because all you got to say is I was watching the King.
Yeah,
Where was he? And
yeah.
instead, like he was a man of honor, so he allowed himself to kind of get pulled in. And I mean, I guess that's a good next touching point because from that point, he made his way down to go and try to take out Rhaenyra. But before that happened, Daemon's old flame, from the last episode, she's the one that kind of gave the inside information. So Rhaenyra was trying to feel her out, get a gauge of kind of what was her real involvement, what in her intentions. I don't know. I don't think she felt threatened that she was going to do something with Daemon. It was more so trying to get a gauge on whether or not this person would be useful or they're going to kill me. And
Same.
at the end of the day, good.
I was gonna ask, did he do that? Did Eric do that for honor, or was he ordered to do that? Because Kristen
Yeah.
Cole's like the head
Right.
of the King's Guard. I think he
Lord
ordered
Commander.
him to
He
do
Oh
it.
no,
ordered
he was for sure ordered him. Yeah,
Lord
Yeah,
Commander,
like
I didn't think I was.
because he said that, hey, you need to do this to bring your honor back.
That's what he said.
Because
Right.
no, you have to understand if he's the King's Guard, I believe, right? Yeah, before he becomes hand, right? He's then even though he's saying, "Oh yeah, I was watching the King," but you're still my superior. So it's like you're telling me this, I still have to go do this because you're
yeah,
telling me this and everything. That's what he was like. You're my superior, but you're telling me to go, then I'm gonna go, and I'm not thinking 2 seconds. But as I'm fighting my brother, I'm telling him, "Man, I love you, but I gotta do what I gotta do." And the other brother's like, so do I. Boom.
But no, the reason why I say I don't know if that's true because he made that action before. Basically, Christian Cole told him to go before he even talked to the King. He told the King after the fact he did it, and he didn't consult with the hand. He didn't consult with Allison. He made that action to somebody under him, and I don't know if that was sanctioned. That's why I was saying like
Of course it
I
wasn't
felt like he
sanctioned.
gaslighted him to do it. That's what I'm saying.
Of
Can
course it
also-
wasn't sanctioned. They wouldn't because in order to be sanctioned, they have to reveal, hey, Christian Cole, where you were.
Yeah, Kristen,
You know.
actually,
That's what I'm saying.
Kristen, where were you at? I'm surprised they haven't asked him yet. Well, they haven't asked him yet because
Okay.
Allison knows where he was.
extending the family legacy.
Right. And she
Listen, can I just say this for Allison? And Allison and Kristen Cole, the miserable couple that they are, whatever
Miserable
destined, right? I am sentencing them to 50 lashes in the King's Guard. Honestly, both of them off with their heads. Off with their
You know,
heads.
good and as well, they would enjoy them lashes. Don't even give them
Oh
that.
no. Seriously, Chris, listen.
Hold up.
This, ladies and gentlemen. If you have If you have grew up in the church,
No.
if you have grew up in the church, this is the perfect example of what we
Jesus.
call religious elitism, right? Religious elitism, and because also she has her faith to cleanse her sin, even though she's also filthy, right? And he's also internally filthy, but
Dog,
he's
what?
looking at someone else's. Listen, I'm about to put a sermon on today, y'all. Because even then, he looked at this man's cloak, and his cloak, if anything, is more pure than his, right? He might as well be in the blacks because his cloak is dirty. It might as well be black. Seriously, I got my notes.
I know where
My
Mike is
notes.
going with this because yes, we are seeing a lot of. It's not Catholic guilt because there's no Catholicism in this world, but it's essentially parallel to Catholic guilt when two people are like very portray themselves as religious, but then do like a classic sin like sex outside of marriage or unmarried sex or whatever, infidelity, whatever they're doing. That's a classic sin. They're feeling guilty, and then all these bad things are happening, and they're like, and instead of atoning, which is what they're supposed to do in their religion, they're projecting on, repenting. They're projecting onto other people. I get where Mike's going. It's literally it's parallel to Catholic guilt and Catholic or like religious hypocrisy. It's a hypocrite. They're hypocrites,
right? Because the fact the whole first season was even the scene where Rhaenyra and Allison were going at each other because the children lost his eye and everything. She said, "Doesn't it pain you that you're hiding behind your own self-righteousness? Now everybody sees you for what you are." But it wasn't until later, after all this stuff, now that she's actually doing the very thing that that Rhaenyra was doing when she was a young age and everything, but the point about it is projection onto somebody else who has honor. Even when it came to last season when the father passed away, the king passed away, and they're trying to find Aemond. Oh, that is Aemond or Aegon. Excuse me.
Aegon.
The two brothers when they separated, right? They're like they separated off of their perspective, but still both of them had honor because I'm honoring the previous king of what he said that's the rightful heir, but also I'm honoring the House Green because he is also the son and the firstborn, and also and we have a rightful duty to King's Landing and to them. And whether they might have disagreed, they still hold on the standard of honor. It wasn't for their own ambitions or anything like that. So with this, to see their arc really complete, it just kind of going to the whole point of everything that Chris and Cole wanted to stand for in the first season as honor. They basically created the standard, but unfortunately, Cole will never reach that because he's also a righteous, prideful bitch ass.
Can I also say that like a whiplash of emotions was when Otto got fired, and how we're like, damn, he fired Grandpa, but we're like, nah, but he gotta die, and he just taunting him, and he's like, okay, Chris, you're the hand now, and we're all like, no, what the, we thought it was gonna be the foot fetish guy and whatnot, and it was
right.
Tarantino's great grandfather, whatever. We were like,
out here failing upward. I hate it.
It was just looking back at it, I'm like, that was funny as hell. Like somebody got fired, and we were like, no, you gotta die. Someone got hired. No, what the hell are you doing in this room? Like, comedy, HBO comedy.
Yeah, I definitely thought, okay, because he had a conversation with the king for a little bit and kind of told him like, your hand is the same hand of your father. Look what happened. And he gave him some really good insight. And I was kind of like, it was such a left turn that I was like, well, there must be a reason why he's not allowing himself to be the hand just yet. Like, there's got to be something, because I definitely thought it was the foot guy.
Because I thought, really, man? Come on.
That's amazing Photoshop. That's amazing, man. Sam. I'm proud of you.
No.
Wait, there's no way you made that, bro. That's sick.
He found it. No,
there's a lot of time editing around that foot.
I know. Brushing it up and shit. Come on, better than him.
But
you really took your computer and made that picture.
I found that anyway.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. That ain't just on Reddit somewhere.
I can find things, trust me. But as far as
that's not a flex. That's
how far did you look?
Oh my god, y'all need to stop. Lady Masera, in her
Sonoya
interaction
Mizuna. Yeah.
with Rhaenyra, where do you think this character is going? And what do you think that? Because the thing about it, in my personal perspective, when the other brother came in to go and protect Rhaenyra, I think somebody told him because he had already went and walked out. And don't say anything, Mike. I know you didn't read the book. I don't, don't spoil anything. But it looked like she saw because she could distinguish the two. She'd even had that conversation before, and she kind of walked back. And I think that as he was walking out, the other brother was walking in. So I was like, well, who told him to go back in there? So I was wondering, do you think she's the person that helped her?
Hey, you gotta pay me for the royalties for those feet. You know what I'm saying? So
No.
hey, yeah,
No.
that's that. You just got a phone call from HBO. They gonna trying to copyright those feet.
Oh yeah.
Pay those royalties.
That Only Toes subscription.
Only.
You mean Feet Finder?
Well, let's think about it. If she's been playing the game for how many people, bouncing from one powerful person to the next.
Yeah.
She saw this as an opportunity to get into Rhaenyra's good favor. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if that was revealed later on.
I'm rooting for her.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the same time, you got to remember, at this point, she's just trying to keep her head on. She's just trying not to get killed.
Not for real.
It's not even about like, oh, I'm trying to grow in power. Like, she's just like, look, I'm just trying not to get killed at this point. And so, yeah, I agree. I think she definitely tipped them off just to be like, look, now you owe me one, right? Like, let me be safe. Let me just get away from this mess.
But also, she saw the queen, but she didn't say anything, right? She saw him like pass him as she was leaving, and she was like, "Hold on a minute, look back." And as far as my memory is, no, she didn't warn Rhaenyra or anybody else. It was the own brother who like spotted something funky.
I thought she said something. She said something to somebody.
The whole entire episode, they did a really great job at the back end because each time the brother was kind of like watching and seeing, he took his helmet off. He never allowed himself to let himself be seen by his twin brother. So by the time he got in there, the twin brother had never seen him. So I think that there was at some point we just didn't see behind the scenes. I think we had to told him because, but she could have got out. She was right there on the boat. She didn't have to stick her neck out at all. She could have been gone and been free of all this. So
and I think it was the fact that Rhaenyra let her live. It was because Rhaenyra could have killed Rhaenyra could have killed her, and it was one of those things where she was just like, "Okay, maybe I owe you one. Like, thanks for letting me keep my head on my shoulders because they have no problem killing folks. I honestly thought Daemon was about to kill her, and." So yeah, I think she definitely gave him a tip off for that. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing if she ends. I feel like she might end up coming back because of that move, though. Because if she did tip him off, I think it might be one of those things with her having the inside knowledge that she has about King's Landing and everything. They'll probably bring her back into the fold, whether she wants to be back in the fold or not.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, even though I think I know where she's gonna fall back to play, I don't feel like we're gonna see her come back until maybe season 3. Only because I think this entire season, I feel like everyone got their own territory. Like Dragonstone still be Dragonstone, King's Landing still King's Landing, and then it's like until those bridges cross paths, like when it comes with King's Landing and how to infiltrate King's Landing and everything like that, that's when I feel like you're going to receive this character again. Now, in terms of story beat and where she might fit in, I think I know where, but this show has not even gone to that part of the story yet. And but I think again, I could be wrong because they also changed some things in terms of bringing certain characters and putting them in different positions or in everything, and actually do it better than what we read, at least what I've read. So again, I don't want to just be still constrained of what I already know, but I just think that that move for me, I feel like will not be overlooked by Rhaenyra, because even then, I like the way even in that was shot. Like that was a Mission Impossible type of type of thing. Like he's walking down, and then all of a sudden, the dude just walk by the hall, and he stayed by until he passes him, and then even to the camera, as an audience perspective, you couldn't even tell which one was one unless you were paying attention. It's like, oh wait, no, is he there? Is he following him? No, he's following him now because he walked in that corner and he waited, and yeah, that's like they added to that that curiosity in that scene and intensity of that scene and everything. But yeah, I got commend them just for that camera work and stuff. That was good.
Yeah, I mean that's a good segue, Mike. As far as I think the thing about made the fight so intense is that it was so well choreographed, but there was weight behind it. Like you didn't want to see either one of these brothers die. You didn't want to see them in this situation, but it was kind of like at the moment that the brother swung at Rhaenyra, it was nothing that could be done at that point. And so I was going to get you guys to take on as far as the physicality, the choreography, and the emotion behind the scene. What did you take on it?
I mean, they have been setting this up, and it paid off. Like it was brilliant. It was emotional. I don't think it was the most emotional thing that hit for me this season, considering how many children have died.
Damn, I feel put on the spot.
But no, I love you, Biz. But like I knew it was coming. They were gonna. I was like, but I was hoping to up until the last swing where he like try to get her. I was like, oh my god, maybe he'll switch his mind. But I'm like, of course he won't. They're both men of honor. They just happen to end up on different sides, and it was just beautifully done. There was a point where I thought I knew who was who, and then they switched, and I was like, oh shit. And then I genuinely felt panic because I was like, what if they switch? He killed his brother. Like I genuinely felt panic, which was such a good, which is really good direction and movement on their parts because at a certain point I didn't know who was who. So I thought that was really well done, and it was devastating because as soon as he killed his brother, he was like, I knew there was no way he was going to be able to live with himself. He protected his queen, he did his duty, but he killed the person he said we were born together. They shared the same womb. How can you live with yourself after that? Like,
right.
That goes deeper than kinslaying. It's just, yeah. But it was just a really sad scene.
It kind of reminded me of one of those like comedic sci-fi moments where it's like, how do I know which one of you is who? I really thought it was gonna come down to like Rhaenyra having to kill one of them or something.
I did too.
It was like some X-Men Wolverine Mystique stuff.
Yeah. I truly expected it. I was like, part of me expected her to pull out like a crossbow or something and have to just decide which one to put down. And that just made things even more stressful. Like the show doesn't give me anxiety already. It was just one of those things that was just like I was like gripping onto my table for dear life. But they did a great job with everything.
That ending felt like seppuku a little bit.
Yeah,
like you see that the samurai may have done something that would have been the right thing to do, or a plausible, honorable thing to do, but he couldn't live with himself with it, so he just full on seppuku in it. And yeah, man, I saw. I don't want to like say it in the moment, but I saw Bizzy getting emotional. I'm like, yep, I know why. And I was just like, nah, man, 2 episodes in with the 1-2 punch endings, like, come on now.
Yeah, it's been heavy. Yeah, it's been
heavy's the word. There you go.
Like it's good, but I ain't gonna sit here and say it's been fun. Like I ain't gonna sit here like, look,
I'm enjoying myself.
Like, it's gonna be one of it's gonna be one of those things. I'm just like, man, take your Emmy, go on.
It's an emotional labor.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Come on, Sam. Come on.
Yeah, like look, like man, like I'm just ruining my weed, nah, but like it's one of those things. Like they're dealing out serious emotional damage just these first 2 episodes, and I'm just and I think that I as much as it sucks, I do like that they're doing it because it just ups those stakes much more, because eventually this is going to grow beyond just these 2 families talking trash back and forth and one person getting knocked off. They're showing how this anger is going to end up disrupting all of Westeros, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people are going to end up dying at the end of all this because of these few things and these buildups, and I think one of the things that hurt Game of Thrones was that they tried to do what they're doing in these first 2 episodes. They tried to do it at the very end, and so all of that blow up, it was happening way too fast. Whereas with this, I feel like it's like, all right, here's this death. That's rough, right? Here's another one. That's rough, right? Here's some more. That's rough, right? And it's like growing until I think it's all gonna come to a head, and it's just all gonna blow up. But the timing is gonna be a lot better than what we got those last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones.
The following day should be interesting for viewers to talk about this. Like, this drops on usually on Sunday nights. It's like Monday morning, go to work. What are you gonna talk about? Oh, House of Dragon. What are you gonna talk about? Just bleak, sad.
I don't want to talk about it, man. Just look it up on Wikipedia. Look it up on Wikipedia. Don't ask me nothing.
Somebody shouted her out. I want to do to get as well. The Helena, what she went through, that scene, and then the cartridge, the town. I was already ready, and I think we said it. Like if we saw the kid's head just roll into the ground because the thing got stuck in the
I would have legit walked off.
I would have walked out.
Yeah, I probably would stop watching.
I wouldn't even finish the episode. I'll look at the next episode, but I wouldn't finish the episode.
That's something Game of Thrones season 1 through 3 would have done. But I think they've learned their lesson of sensitivity a little bit.
Wait. I noticed the Easter egg though. Did you not know? Okay, I mentioned this previously. Did you not see that she called it? She predicted the death of her child to.
Yes, right.
Right. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's what they said. That she had seen stuff, right?
Have the sight. Yeah.
Right.
She does have the sight.
And yes, and to see them walk again and see each other again is like, yes.
The manga readers versus the TV watchers.
We have another host here. I wanted to give him opportunity to tell his emotions and thoughts of episode 2. We pretty much dissected pretty much all of it at this point, but Ant Go, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on? Sorry I'm late. I literally traveled all day to get home, so my bad. I just walked through the door. I didn't really have any emotions. I thought it was
okay. And goodbye.
No, like I get it. I get why people were emotional. I think these 2 episodes, I kind of disagree. I feel like these first episodes have done what the original Game of Thrones set out to do, where it was like nobody was safe, anybody could get it, and you feel those stakes. Or even like when it went to like Blood and Cheese going to different rooms, you didn't know whose room they were going to go into. It could have been anybody. And it kind of gave you that same feel of like Ned Stark's head getting cut off. Spoiler, I guess. So like no one expected that at the time, right? So anyway, but when I came in, you guys were talking about the 2 brothers fighting, the twins.
Yeah,
that was one of the best fight scenes I've seen in a while on television or screen. It was so visceral. It was better than like flashy sword moves. When the one brother reached into the wound of his leg, and it was cool. And I lost track. It was a shell game. I lost track of who I was following, and so I didn't know who he was getting up to do.
Yeah, I didn't know who I was rooting for.
Right. So, and then when it was kind of like, I'm not going to live with myself. I feel like some part of them knew even if they won, they were going to lose. Even if you won this fight and you did whatever your duty was, you weren't walking out this room. And I was gonna say F Christian Cole, but I forgot which channel I was on, so I caught myself saying
it's already been
Christian Cole, bro.
Oh, I thought that was your man. I thought that was your boy.
Man.
Ooh.
Not me. No,
I thought that was your boy.
No, I need his comeuppance to be grand. I need his comeuppance to be a warning to the next TV show. Like Joffrey's death should look like a picnic compared to what happened to Christian Cole. Yeah,
I agree.
I need this man, and he's clapping both of these people. Both
dude.
Yeah, yo, I need all that, but. I think that this is great because it's always a collateral damage, right? The nobles fight off of their egos, and everybody else suffers.
Yep.
And that's just life, the powerful get richer, young men go off to die. Right? That man was sitting there eating his soup in peace, and Christian Cole kept talking about how he dirty his soup was.
Dude was just
was like-
eating his lunch. I was so mad. He was just eating his lunch. Like, we all go to work and we all look forward to lunchtime when we can just be left the hell alone.
And he even squashed it. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go take care of it, bro. My bad. He's like, oh, you gonna walk away? It's a perfectly good chance to throw your life away. Not my life.
Oh, not the Boondocks.
But that's what kind of moment it was. So yeah, that's my only contribution. I can't even talk. Contribution to this is fuck Christian Cole. I mean, screw Christian, whatever Christian Cole.
No, let it out.
Okay, and while it's still on you, and what's your closeout thoughts on the episode and rating from A to F?
Oh, every episode this season's been an A. And I think that even though I know me and Mike talked about how the blood and cheese killing the kid was a little bit more vicious psychologically, right? I think what they've added to this, I think you guys really changed my mind on the last episode. What they've added to this has expanded on what was already there, right? So it's enhanced everything. So I'm enjoying every moment of this, and this doesn't have an happy ending. So like I'm here for the ride. I want every episode for Sam to almost walk away. That's my rating. If Sam almost throws down his microphone and gets up and leaves, I'm gonna give that an A+ right there. That's my standard.
Wow.
So I'm watching you, Sam.
Okay, thanks. And,
Amazing.
Vanessa,
That's amazing.
Vanessa, what was your rating on episode 1? Closing thoughts on that, and then your closing thoughts on this episode and rating.
Okay, episode 1. I would give episode 1 an A. Both episodes are A's. They're excellent. Episode 1 was devastating. I was texting Sam about like Rhaenyra. Every time I showed Rhaenyra her face, man. Emma D'Arcy, right? Oh yes. My God, a tremendous actor. They're killing it as Rhaenyra. Like, I have no words. I am truly glad the show is back. This episode, the second episode, another A. The ladies are really doing a lot of work here, but I'm really impressed with Aegon and Aemond. I'm sorry, I have such a soft spot in my heart for Aemond, and I will never explain why.
Yes. Yes.
He's a villain. I just have a soft spot in my heart for him. I don't know. I will not. I know why, but I will not explain why. But there are people on both sides, on both green and black that I have affinity for, and I love that this show is showing everyone's flaws. And also, the second episode did such a good job of showing the civilians. Ant touched on that, where how the civilians are the blockade is affecting civilians. How they're, because he didn't name the rat catcher, all rat catchers in the cities died. Husbands are dead. Like, they are actually doing a better job than Game of Thrones did. Well, I guess they tried it later in the seasons, but like actually showing on the ground. And we even remember we have Hugh and all these people on the ground reacting to what the higher ups are doing. We didn't get that like House of Dragons doing that so well this season. I was really impressed with that. So honestly, fantastic. Just really, really good work all around. I'm so excited for what's coming up next. And I'm not a book reader. This book I didn't read. I read the original, but I never read this series. So I'm coming in blind on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we never talked about Aemond's
his mommy fetish,
mother complex, because basically he had a whole breakdown. I mean, honestly,
that was a lot.
We do need to kind of break it down a little bit, because to be fair, the king really just wanted someone to be there for him as he's weeping for his dead child after he's made these uncalculated decisions. And she didn't do anything for him. She walked up and slept with Christian Cole. This man right here is dealing with his own guilt and basically is confessing it to somebody that he's curled up in the ball butt naked. Like, that's his mom. And, again, like, these kids they're not being serviced. And it's like, if you look at the parallel, while Rhaenyra was in her grief, she was consulting her son.
Yeah. Ooh, yep.
What a cool scene.
Right.
It was such a good scene, and it was so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me because if you think about, she knows that her husband is some trash. She's known this man is crazy. She's still finding ways
He
of
her
getting,
uncle too. We can't forget that.
yeah, but I'm saying she's still finding ways of giving this man grace. And it's crazy. It just shows how different she is. She's built different.
Yeah.
Well, but we all crave. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, good.
No, I was gonna say like we all crave acceptance. You know what I mean? Even the people that act like they don't need it the most, they're the ones who need it the most. And I thought that
It's
was
that many
great. And we also, well, they did a really good job of showing the generational trauma from all these different sides and how she doesn't know how to comfort anybody going through this. Who comfort her, right?
Right. Her own dad pimped her out, isn't it? Right.
Right. Right. She's sitting there peeling off her fingernails and her cuticles, like
Pass that
she
off to her
was
daughter.
right. And so, um, and we see that even in Game of Thrones, right? When Tywin gives that speech to Jamie about the house name and doesn't matter what happened to y'all, as long as our name goes forward and stuff like that. That wasn't his voice. He was learning that from somebody else. This all passes down. And so I don't know. But I will say this, get rid of that eye patch. I would nothing but that sapphire. That is a cool ass shot. And that's how I picture it in the story, right? So
Correct.
I just have look at that.
He's so
look
cool.
at that. Yeah.
I think we'll see more of it, but I think with
I
Vanessa,
think.
I will. Listen. No, well, I'm just saying, like with Aemond, I feel for him.
Yeah.
Again, I understand what Vanessa's talking about because, like, nobody, like, listen, he is the pinnacle, of the nerd that being picked on, and now here he is, the most trained, the strongest, coolest, and everything, and yet now everybody's mad at him. But I'm like, y'all picked on me when I was a kid. Y'all made me this.
He's like, why
And,
you know,
I was even when it came to when his brother was running away. It's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna go chase him. He's my brother, but listen, if I was the king, I would be. No, I want to be found, and adequate. But at the same time, he's Targaryen. His impulses where it's like, listen, I'm not trying to go kill you because for the throne for my brother. I'm killing you specifically because you took my eye out when we were kids. And I think for him, it's like, again, nobody understand his shoes. Is like, listen, like I didn't mean to, like I didn't mean to kill my nephew. I was just taunting him, and then our dragons took control over it. Who control us? We control dragons, or dragons control us. So those, I just again, Aemond, I felt for him, but again, the nurturing, I know. Even though I felt for him, I understand why everybody's like, it's almost like he's a kid again. Almost, it's like, yep, you don't have a dragon. You don't own a wild dragon, and now here he is now older. Like, yep, you're the one who started this whole thing. It just can't catch a break. So yeah,
but like children fill the roles that we create for them, right? You ever see a family and they always assume that one child's the bad kid, and that kid, like, well, I guess I'm the bad kid. I'm gonna fill this role. And so that's what I'm gonna go into. And that's something him and his uncle, I figured out the family tree works. But that's him and Doctor Who got in common, right? They both filled the role of the bad disruptive child. And also when you see people who don't feel emotionally safe with the people that they quote love or and supposed to love them, they go to people whose opinion doesn't matter, right? They get in relationships where that doesn't affect their standing in anything, because if he wants to, he can kill that prostitute. You know what I mean? He can kill that whole room and get away with it, right? So I don't know. I think these are very layered characters, and it's great. And I know I had my turn, so I'm gonna shut up now. I was just late. So,
Mike, what was your final thoughts and rating?
A. Yes. A. A for Aemond. Yeah, A for Aemond, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yes, I'm Team Black as always. But yes, A for these first 2 episodes. Looking forward to the rest of the season.
Thank you, Mike. Bizzy, what's your closing thoughts and rating?
You mute, bro.
No, we hear him. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Another banger. Truly excited for more. I think I'm gonna give this another A-. I don't know. I'm just really excited to see where this goes, and but yeah, I don't really got much else to say.
All right. Vanessa. Crap.
She already gave a rating.
Sure, wait. This is Keaton. My bad. We were going all over the place. Keaton, what's your closing thoughts and rating for this one?
I give it an A. It's a good show. They do a great job making me hate these characters. Some of them. I know that it's supposed to be Team Black or Team Green. I'm just gonna say I'm Team Rhaenyra. I don't know them other folks with her. I don't know them other folks. The ones I thought I knew, they dead. I don't know them other folks. I'm gonna say I'm with my girl Ray Ray. But yeah, I give the episode an A, and I cannot wait to watch more of it.
Thank you, Keaton. Last but not least,
I answered your question.
what's your closing thoughts and rating?
House of the Dragon is back, and I don't know why I do this to myself, but I keep forgetting this is an effed up show. It's a good show, but it's an effed up show. A again. I think it's a 1-2 punch premiere for these 2 episodes, if you will. What is happening in the private chat? Anyways, I hope that we get more of Helena. I hope maybe she steps up and like slap some sense to Aemond and Aegon. Be like, yo, you figure this stuff out. I'm tired of all this death. Doubt that will happen, but we shall see. I hate even saying this. What else can go wrong? Just like, oh yeah.
Why would you do that, bro?
Why would you say that? You know, the next episode, I'm gonna clip that and I'm gonna put it at the very beginning of this.
Put the SpongeBob theme. It's like, oh, that's what happened. Okay, cool.
Oh my god. All right. Yeah, now this was awesome, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching our discussion. Get ready to take some time to plug the content. All right. Bizzy, where can everybody find you, man?
Bizzy Brown everywhere. Bizzy Reactions on Instagram and doing reviews over here on TeamJVS.
Keaton, where can everybody find your social
and
content?
I'm with TeamJVS, but I also run a mental health podcast with my good friend Dr. Amelia Brown. We examine mental health through the lens of comic and film. You can find us at bat-therapy.com. You can also find us just anywhere where you listen to podcasts. We're out there. And of course, same thing on our socials, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, TikTok, all the above. But and then yeah, if you want to listen to more of my movie reviews and stuff, I'm right here with TeamJVS.
Thank you, Keaton. Ronin, where can everybody find your content, man?
This private chat's amazing. You can find me at Ronin Unchained on YouTube, on the socials. I'll be covering this show, and I think the Acolyte as well. Stay tuned. I'm excited yet dreading the next few weeks.
Thank you so much, Ronin. Mike, where can everybody find your content?
You can find me on YouTube at Jedi Mike 7 and on Instagram at Jedi Mike 7. Another content, I'm gonna go by another name, but I guess you just have to find out.
Oh boy.
All right.
Okay.
What?
And where can everybody find your content?
I didn't say anything like that. Anyway, you can find me on JVS After Dark. I'm starting.
Hey.
Yep. He'll be only wearing the cap shield.
On your left, dude.
I'm good.
Stay away. Damn, Mike. We're hitting up California, Nevada.
Vanessa, help us. Where can everybody find your content?
There's no help from you guys. You can find me at Vanessa Stark on everything. I am a writer and editor for multiversecolor.com. Interview people. You can read that and all that shit. Cool. And yeah. Oh, I'm back doing reviews somewhat for for TeamJVS. I'll be doing House of the Dragon. And Sam is trying to drag me in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'll be back.
The queen is back. The queen is back.
TeamJVS, let's get it.
What is going on?
I wish someone.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Vanessa gonna bring civility and class to this heathen group of people.
Have you met her?
Bye bye, familiar.